let's have a look at the inside of this giant tomb. Maybe you want to get yourself a cup of tea. I got mine already, or coffee, or whatever you like, because this is going to take a little while. Just lean back and enjoy, because there is a lot to look at. First of all, I want to remove the straps. That makes it easier to handle the book. The straps are leather, and the spine of the book is also real leather, just in case anybody was wondering. So this is not a vegan book. This part here is real leather. And this one is a canvas board. And I covered this with extra paper and gave it some nice patina. So it looks like leather, it's not. This part here is. And here, where I connected the straps, this is also leather. And I connected this with these little metal parts. And it's all very sturdy. It's a very, you can really take it around. This is not gonna break easy. The cover is very special because, believe it or not, this picture here is from a beer cane. It's maybe a year ago, there was a special when they had the Steampunk beer in the German grocery stores. And when I saw that, I just brought the beer home and I forced my husband to drink a few cans of beer because I really wanted this picture. And my husband, he's so good. He does anything to make me happy, even drinking beer. Poor guy. You can imagine how hard I had to force him. This here is Steamclay. Steamclay is a special kind of polymer clay that we developed for our online shop. I'm a designer for the online shop of Funkelkram. Funkelkram, if you translate Funkelkram, it means something like glittery stuff or something like that. It's a bead shop, and we also have some stuff for junk journaling. And when I started to make covers, book covers with polymer clay, I was pretty annoyed that pieces would always break off because it comes so hard by baking that it becomes very, very sensitive. You know, books are moved around a lot, or you put them in and out of the shelf, and then the little parts always break off. And so my husband and I started to contact the factory that produces stuff like this, and we talked to them, and after a long ride and discussion and try and error, we finally had a product that is really, really flexible after baking. It's kind of like tires, you know, from a bicycle or from a car. This very sturdy, thick, rubbery kind of material, and it's fantastic for the books, and you don't have to worry. If you handle it with some care, but not overprotective, it will perfectly survive. Well, you see all the little gears on here to give it the steampunk look, just a regular thing. And now the interesting part comes. If you peek in here, you see there's something going on in here. Turn it around. Oh, look at this. There are drawers. Isn't that cool? So let's open it and see what it is all about. It has a lot of pockets. Since you can put the straps on and you can hang it over your shoulder and use it almost like a handbag, I figured, you know, women, we always carry stuff around. We don't want to have two handbags. If I have the book hang over my shoulder, I don't want an extra bag. Yeah, I have some pockets maybe on my jacket or my pants, but I have stuff I have to put somewhere. So I figured I just make room in this book so you can put the most important parts along with you. This here, you're not gonna believe it. It's for your smartphone. Look at this. It perfectly fits in here. Isn't that great? So you can just stuff it in here and close it up, and then you can write and do whatever you need to do, and you have that thing out of the way. And these little drawers here, turn it around one more time. This is for stuff women carry around, whatever that is. I think that's like for change, for a little money you can put in here. Maybe some lip gloss or some candies or headache pills or whatever. So you have 4 little departments for the most important things you need to take with you. Yeah, here's the room for the pencils. These are just regular ball pens. And I like the design. I figured it really suits the steampunk theme. And they write very nicely. They are very soft to the grip down here, and I really like the way they go over the paper. And they stay in this book, of course. So if anybody purchases this book, you get the pencils along. But of course, you can remove them and put your own in. And here I fix the paper with this little strap, because I figured, you know, if you have a lot of opening because you need to get to your phone or to the money or whatever, I didn't want the paper to flip around and get all messed up. So I figured it's the smartest way to make sure that this stays in place and still looks halfway decent. So you just open the buckle, and then let's have a look. First, there's the decorated paper. There are some quotes in this book, and these quotes are in German. Apparently, I am German, so I would take my quotes in German. Every now and then I have English quotes, then the German customers complain because they want most of them speak English, so it's not that much of a problem, but I usually put translations along. And if this book should be purchased by somebody English speaking, I of course will put a translation in here. This one says, steampunk happened when the Gothics discovered brown. I thought that was so funny. So that had to go in a steampunk book. So here, the book contains 4 signatures, and each signature has like 20 papers, if you, like this, you know, paper, and 160 pages, because pages like front and back. Then you have a page here, you have a page here. So we have 160 pages in this book, and it's decoration-wise, it's not that much. You will see it in a minute, because I figured, you know, you want room to write. You want to put in your own decorations, your own memories. You want to collage, you want to doodle, you want to do all that stuff. Steampunk people are creative people, so it's not good if you have a book that is like completely decorated. There's enough decoration to be interesting and to have some fun, and also plenty of room for your own ideas. And that was very important to me. So here I just put this little metal things, eyelets, I think, is that the right word? Put that on here. And that is just a stencil, so I want it to be a little more interesting, so I put a little steampunk pattern on here. The pages are bathed in tea, as usual, with a junk journal. And then we have some special pages. These are German school notebook pages. You know these for math. I know you have them in America too. But I don't know about this. I don't know if anybody else in Europe or in any other country has these funny lines. Second graders use these lines. First graders have the same lines, even bigger. In Germany, kids start writing with cursive. They learn cursive first, and then they learn how to print. And for the cursive, you need those 3 lines for the letter itself. And then, you know, if you have like a G, it goes all the way down, or you have an F, it goes all the way up. So it gives you, you know, for the lower, for the middle, and for the upper part, it gives you the line. So you get a nice handwriting. And yeah, this is how we learn writing in Germany. And there are, for each grade in elementary school, there are different lines. First graders have very big ones. The second grade has a little smaller. The third grade we see in a minute. And in 4th grade, then you have just the regular lines that you have on every notepad. This is an old book page. It's a book from 1910. It's an original, it's not a copy. Here I made a little mess with tea and watercolor. That's a special kind of trick that I use in order to make pages look a little more interesting. I just splatter watercolor, but I don't mix my watercolor with water, I mix it with tea. So it gets this nostalgic kind of patina from the beginning. It's a nice trick, maybe you want to try that sometime. So here, this is the 3rd grade line. Let me get a little bit closer. There you see this. There is no upper and no lower line anymore. It only gives you the middle. You know, perfect for an A and for an E. If you make a G, you know, you go without line, or an F or a T, you go up as much as you like, depending on your handwriting. And the next step is then the line with just the regular ones that you know from any yellow pad. And I figured that might be interesting for somebody who's not living in Germany. And I have no clue if anywhere else in Europe we use these funny pages to teach the children how to write. Are we straight now? Here's the middle. So this is construction paper, I believe, that this is a word. This is for like engineers, they do their drawings on here, or architects. And I love those for doodling. It's one of my self-made stickers. I just use those regular label stickers, and I run them through the embossing folder, and then I just use some ink, some stamping ink, to color those. And I always like to have a a pile of those at hand because, you know, you always need some decoration somewhere. Here's another one of those quotes, of those German quotes. It says, "Rely on your heart, it was beating long before you were able to think." Yeah, that's a sticker. It's a little steampunk sticker. The other part of the old book page. The second grader lines again. Oh, maybe you like to try this. If you write cursive, maybe you want to see, you know, what it feels like to write on lines like that. Okay, here comes the next signature. Oh, here's a little pocket. Oh yeah, here's also, that's a nice quote. I love that one. It says, "Anybody can be the black sheep. Be the colorful sheep." It's just a little postcard. I like these postcards. I have them in my personal junk journals and I always write them "to me." That's what I put on here, "to me." And then I write a little something that is just applying at the moment the situation I am in. Something that's like encouraging, or you know, something that is reminding me to whatever. And it's a lot of fun if I go through my books later on when I find these cards. And you know how you have situations in your life and you think that is also terrible, and then later on you read about it and you grin and you think, oh yeah, well, it wasn't all that bad. So these little cards are fun to remind me that things are going on and everything happens for a good reason. So here's some more tea and watercolor covered paper. Yeah, the third grader lines again. These are not all that washed out from tea, so it's a little more clear how to write in those. This is from an old encyclopedia, which is really funny because it's about North America. It's an encyclopedia from 1910. So the world has changed a lot since then. Also the maps here, if you look at those maps, this is even one Mittelalter. Mittelalter is, what is it? It's Middle Age, basically. I don't know the official term for that. But if you see how the borders changed, it's awesome. I really like this. I love these very old maps. It's so interesting how the world is just changing all the time. This is an old newspaper, but this is a copy. That's not an original. So here's another pocket with a little card in it. You can use it for decoration, maybe for collage or to write on it, whatever comes to mind. Now we are really in trouble. No, not we are, I am. Wappenkunde. Emblems. I think that's an emblem, right? Old castles, they have those, you know, for their family. They have these signs. I think it's an emblem. And I put this page in here, also from this old 1910 dictionary, because I think that is so inspiring. If you like to draw and to doodle, I very often don't really know where to start, or I don't really know what kind of shape to choose. And I really like these kind of things because they are very inspiring. You can just take a look and you can just, you know, steal ideas and adapt a little and just see how did they do it and then make your own. And that's pretty cool. And there are even more, you know, all these patterns. That also helps, you know, to give you ideas how to divide a page. Every now and then, usually I'm very creative and I have all kinds of ideas. And sometimes I just sit there and I'm just blank. You know, nothing comes to mind. And then it's good to have something to look at and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this, but not like that. But yeah, I'm going to change it a little bit. You know, I guess you know exactly what I mean. So here you have a whole page of inspiration from a German dictionary from 1910, which is more than 100 years. Isn't that amazing? So more paper, more gear, as you need in steampunk. Oh, we never talked about the little charms that are on here. Look at these. That's a little charm, and it says, live your dream, which I think is very important. Everybody should not only dream, but also try to live it. And this one says, never, never give up. Yeah, never give up to live your dream, huh? I think that's a good message. Here's this paper again that you can write on easy. Even if you feel it, you think, okay, no, nothing is going to stick on this one, but it does, believe me. You'll be surprised. Okay, more More tea and watercolor paper. Oh yeah, that is also very cool. Sticker doesn't want to stick. This is a very old postcard. This is also from the 1900s. 1910, 1920, it's definitely before First World War. At the flea market I bought a big pile of papers, and it had all kind of stuff like this. It had postcards in it, even food stamps, which was after the World War, but you know, I know because I researched it how old these things are. And it's quite amazing if you think that this paper is so old, and it's an original, it's not a copy. So you have a piece of paper in your hand which is over 100 years. Isn't that great? Another little book page here. And just some stamping to make it a little more exciting. And you see there's so much room for you to write, to collage, to do all kinds of stuff. This is also a very interesting page. It says Prunkgeräte, which basically means decoration. I don't even know the word for Prunk. Prunk is something which is very, very rich, very rich, richly decorated. Yeah, and then you see all these cups and whatever that is. That's interesting. It's also from the dictionary, and also figured that this is just a nice inspiration. I put this together with a little paper clip, and here's some washi tape because the paper is so old and it's here right in the middle, and it tends to brittle and to rip. So I had to, you know, make it a little bit more sturdy by putting some washi tape in the middle. But I really like these pictures. It's really interesting to look at. It looks very royal. I think that's a good word. Yeah, some more decoration. Yeah, even here, there we have some lace and a little journaling card. And here is a little emblem. So another old book page and a short page. And this also can be turned into a pocket if you like more pockets in your book. You know, just put some glue on here and then you can slide things in. Or maybe you want to put an additional page in the book, so you can use that to fix your page on. Just some more decorative pages. And here already comes the last signature. This is that's a canvas paper. It's a special kind of paper that feels like canvas, but it's actually not, and you can just print on it. And I thought it was so much fun when I discovered that in a store. I had to buy a pack. And now I try to think of what store that was, but you know, for the American speaking world it's not important anyhow. It's just for the German, because you probably don't have these stores in another country to begin with. We have a lot of these kind of dollar store places, and they're really local. You don't have them anywhere else. And this is my never-ending source for all kind of stuff when it comes to crafting. There's another sticker. And another book page, and one last page from the old dictionary, which is about old buildings. And I really like this old architecture. This is so fancy. I think it's a shame that we don't build houses like this anymore. I'd love to live in a house like this. Some more papers that can be turned into pockets. The other part of the page, interesting enough. Oh, and here comes a little letter. That's also fun. Interesting to fold. I really like this one. I haven't thought of it for a very long time, and when it finally hit my mind again, I made a video on how to fold these. Because in school, when I was in high school, we would send little notes, you know, from one kid to the other, to a person to read. And we like to fold them this way. You see how easy it is actually. You have like a big piece of paper, and you just go corner and like this, and fold it up. And then you close it up and hope that nobody reads it who's not supposed to read it, unless the teacher catches you, and then they would take it away from you and you would read it to the whole class, which is the most embarrassing thing that can happen. When I made the video on this little folding thing here, I had a lot of comments from people who said, hey, you know, yes, we did this in high school and we completely forgot about it. Oh my goodness, it's been ages. And I asked my daughter is she's 24 now, if she actually knows this kind of letter folding, and she grins at me and she says, "Yeah, Mom, we did it too." So I thought it was funny. You know, she's been out of high school for a while, being 24, but that she immediately knew what this is all about and that the kids are still doing it. You know, I'm 52 now, so my high school time has been past quite a while. And isn't that so cool that the kids are still doing the same thing? Some stuff, I guess, never grows old. So here we go. This is the last page. And this is the end of the book. And since that could be like a bag as well, and we need more place for storage, I figured we need a little pocket back here. I thought that would be really cool, maybe to keep some money in here, some paper money, or whatever else. Some letters, some papers, maybe an ID, whatever, you know, something to close up so you don't lose it. And that was my giant steampunk book, which was a lot of work. I never put that many hours in a book as I did with this one. Took forever, but it was also very, very much fun. I hope you like it. I hope you get some inspirations. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Write me a comment underneath. I love to hear what you think of it. And yeah, I just hope you enjoyed it. And maybe, you know, you are the next one to make a cool book with a cool idea that hasn't been around that much yet. I don't know if anybody else had a book which you can hang over your shoulder with straps before. I haven't seen one so far. But giving the idea out now, I hope there are more to come, and I'm curious to see what you make out of it. Have a good time.